I'd like to thank you for joining us here at the Literary Classics 5th Annual Book Awards presentation. My name is Youssef Alaoui, and I'm an associate editor at Big Bridge Magazine, the founder of Paper Press Books, and a writer just like yourselves. Your books have gone through a rigorous review process, and you're here today because you are each at the top of your field. So give yourselves a round of applause. Now I'd like to introduce you to our executive director and presenter for today's ceremony, Diana Fuchs. She's been in the publishing industry for over 20 years. She served as editor and publisher of 3 Midwestern magazines prior to becoming the founder of Author.pub, an online resource for authors and writers. She has 2 published books to her credit, which have earned several national awards. An alumna of Arizona State University, Diana holds her IOM certification for nonprofit management through the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. She's known as a regional expert on the topic of networking, for which she has been a featured national speaker and also honored with the highest award for achievement through Dale Carnegie. And since, of course, 2010, Diana has served as executive director of Literary Classics. Please help me welcome Diana Fuchs.
At Literary Classics, we believe that literature is a critical component in the development of young minds. Through well-crafted literature, we foster creative thinking, enhance word recognition, improve cognitive skills, and help achieve a greater understanding of people and the world around us. Literary Classics Book Awards and Reviews was founded in 2010 by Taj Mahal Publishing, Inc. and publishers of Mud Pie Parenting Magazine, a Midwestern publication. Initially, our focus was on providing reviews of children's picture books, but as the variety of books submitted grew, so did the scope of our organization. We now review and consider for our awards early reader, young adult books, and everything in between. At Literary Classics, it is our mission to honor excellence in children's and young adult literature, thereby encouraging a passion for reading while promoting education, imagination, and character in young readers. The Latin text on the Literary Classics Award still says it best. Loosely translated, it states that classic literature is the key to knowledge and creativity while promoting strong core values. Our selection committee is proud to recognize those titles in literature which exemplify the criteria set forth by Literary Classics. Each one of today's honorees can be very proud of their accomplishments. All books entered into the awards program must meet or exceed our minimum requirements as outlined through a highly selective process. Books are rated on a number of different criteria, including message, interest, imagery, formatting, design, and much more. Our reviewers and judges employ the use of a rubric to help ensure each book is rated based upon the same expectations and guidelines. Books which score high enough are eligible to receive the Literary Classics Seal of Approval, allowing them to move on to the next step for consideration in the Book Awards program. Today we are pleased to recognize those individuals who have had a part in creating books which received the highest honors in 2015. Together we celebrate their success in being honored with silver and gold, as well as our top honors award, the Enchanted Page, the Eloquent Quill, the Lumen Award, and the Words on Wings Award. Today's distinguished honorees include authors from around the world whose contributions to literature for children and young adults are of exceptional note. And now we'd like to begin the awards presentation with our first Book Award recipient. When a young owlet starts questioning his father about all the birds of the forest, the father owl has plenty to say. With each explanation, he wisely reiterates the mantra, "We are who we are," leaving the young owl to ponder the deeper meaning behind these words. Author Melinda Chambers provides much food for thought as she teaches youngsters about animals in the wild while providing meaningful allegorical insights into human nature. We Are Who We Are is the 2015 Silver Award recipient in the Early Reader Picture Book category. Please help us congratulate Melinda Chambers. Two Hoots and a Holler is the story of twin owls that never seem to get along with one another. One day, their father devises a plan to help the two youngsters see eye to eye. He cleverly helps one feathered friend resolve a problem while helping his children find common ground and a reason to work together. Two Hoots and a Holler is a multifaceted tale in which kids experience a delightful aha moment. Karen Chasick's Two Hoots and a Holler wins silver in the General Early Reader category for 2015. And here to receive this award today is Gabrielle Garcia and Dr. Hoots. Usually, Jake loves being the son of Captain Eagle, but some days it can be pretty exhausting since he must always be on his best behavior to uphold the family name. So when his dad goes away, Jake decides to take a break from being good for a day. However, things don't turn out quite as planned. Birds of a Feather is our General Early Reader Gold Award winning book for 2015. Little Bird Lost is a literary labor of love brought on by a lucky encounter. Steve Larkinson happened upon a nest with some baby birds and was able to capture some winning photos of a mother and father bird caring for their little ones. Inspired by these photos, Kate Larkinson penned a lovely poem which is perfectly paired in this wonderful little book. Delightfully uncomplicated, remarkably simplistic, Little Bird Lost is sure to warm the hearts of readers as they witness the love and care exhibited for four little birds. Little Bird Lost has earned the Literary Classics 2015 Gold Award for Children's Rhyme Books, and here today to accept their award together are the dynamic duo, Kate and Steve Larkinson. Tame Your Manners is a picture book written to educate youngsters on the benefits and how-tos of cultivating one's social graces. Covering everything from table etiquette to thank you notes, author Loretta Neff approaches the topic of manners in an entertaining way which will inspire young readers to always put their best foot forward. With safari animals as their guide, Ms. Neff demonstrates the corollaries between animals and the lessons which can be gleaned from them. Look out, Emily Post. There's a new book in town sure to guide young readers as they learn to be the best version of themselves they can possibly be. Loretta Neff's Tame Your Manners earns gold in educational books for young children. A young seed germinates in the forest before unfurling and finding her way through the rich, dark soil of the earth. As she becomes a seedling, she stretches toward the sunlight, wondering what she will someday become. Nourished by the dewdrops, she grows in anticipation of the possibilities hidden within her until one day she discovers her purpose. She is an apple tree. A Story of Becoming by Ann Kate Sullivan, PhD, is a beautiful tale which speaks on many levels to readers who will relate to the hopes, fears, and dreams of the young apple tree as she struggles to survive and fulfill her purpose. Exquisite illustrations by Belle Ducray provide the perfect backdrop for the words penned in this lovely book. A Story of Becoming wins gold in the category of visionary picture books. Help us as we recognize Ann Kate Sullivan and Belle Ducray. Polik and Nika are young siblings who live in an Inuit village in the Great North with their grandfather, the village shaman. When magical stones are discovered, Aikuma insists they must be returned to the Mother of the Sea or their village will be cursed. But when the stones are hidden instead, their grandfather becomes gravely ill. Their brother and sister team up to find and return the stones in hope of saving their grandfather and the village. Authors Mark Hadu and Irv Bastian have artfully blended Alaskan folk stories and the legend of Santa Claus into a magical combination while skillfully addressing the subject of global warming. Christmas Nevermore receives the 2015 Best Illustrator Award, Best Holiday Book Award, and the Best Environmental Issues Award. And here to receive this award today is author Mark Hadu. When Hallie finds herself mysteriously shrunken and poised in front of a very small door hidden in a tree in her yard, she starts to doubt the plausibility of her unlikely situation. But then, embracing the moment in her own magical story, she decides to explore what lies on the other side of the door. Thus begins the adventures of Hallie as she enters the world of Mr. Snuggy Whiskers, a talking mouse who wears a three-piece suit and a tie. She thrills in experiencing Mr. Snuggy Whiskers' world, a place in which civilized mice engage in celebrations and enjoy travel as much as any human might. The Tales of Mr. Snuggy Whiskers is the Literary Classics Best Chapter Book Series for 2015. Please help us congratulate C.F. Crawford on her award-winning series. Najee and the Mystery of the Dig is the tale of an 8-year-old girl growing up in Persia in the 1940s. When Najee is awakened by the sound of workers digging in her family's courtyard, she has an overwhelming sense that something is lurking there. Her curiosity nearly consumes her with a need to find out before the opening is covered back up. But the longer Najee must wait to satisfy her curiosity, the more her imagination flares. As the story progresses, readers are introduced to Najee's world, a place steeped in a rich and colorful history filled with lovely customs and traditions. This author offers a rare glimpse into the fascinating culture of Persia in the 1940s. His book, Najee and the Mystery of the Dig, is a 3-time Literary Classics Award winner, taking Best First Chapter Book, Gold Teen Chapter Book, as well as Gold for Cultural Issues in the Preteen category. Please help us welcome Fahid Amani. Zoe is still grieving the loss of a family that once was. She hasn't heard from her dad in nearly a year now. And now her mom's new boyfriend wants to drag them all out to live in the wilderness at Bristol Bay. Soon after arriving in Alaska, Zoe meets Thomas. She resents his nickname for her, City Girl. So when she gets a job working for his family, she is determined to ditch her city girl image. This author has crafted a superb coming-of-age story offering a rare combination of adventure, drama, and age-appropriate romance, all presented in a highly plausible story. Today we recognize Annie Boo Cheever and her book Bristol Bay Summer for the Best First Novel. Laura's mother has passed away. Now she and her brother live in a foster home on a ranch where they are expected to help care for the horses. At first, Laura is angry and withdrawn, but then one day her foster father introduces her to May, a horse which, like Laura, lost her mother. Now May will soon be having a baby of her own, and Laura hates to admit it, but she grows to love May, and as her bond with May grows, her bitterness begins to fade. A Filly for Laura is a beautiful and touching story which will stir the hearts of readers young and old. Author Ashley Hodder has created a simply moving tale that is uplifting and a joy to read. A Filly for Laura is recommended for home and school libraries and for use in clinical settings as an excellent means of helping kids work through anger and grief. Castle Blues Quake is the story of Pepper, a young girl whose family moves across the country where she knows no one. Her mom is thrilled to be living in the house of her dreams, while her dad is happy to be starting a rewarding new job in California. But Pepper is just sorry to be leaving her best friend behind. Soon after settling into their new home, Pepper meets a strange boy who is living in her backyard shed. Thus begins Pepper's adventure. Even the most reluctant of readers will find intrigue in this teen mystery, which is full of unique twists and a rousingly suspenseful finish. Linda Covella's The Castle Blues Quake is the Silver Award recipient in the fiction preteen category. Oath Taker is the story of Mara, a trained oath taker living in the land of USA. The sacrifices made by oath takers are great, but those sworn to fulfill the task have willingly accepted the burden of their responsibilities. USA, a world full of rich traditions and powerful legends, is the setting for this fantasy fiction novel of epic proportions in which ancient prophecies are revealed and good wages war upon evil. This highly engaging book boasts a robust plot paired with a healthy share of life and death struggles and a delightful love story woven throughout. Patricia Redding's Oath Taker is our 2015 Young Adult Fantasy Fiction Gold Award recipient. Priya has been experiencing vague, dreamlike visions. Her entire life, she's been trained to believe that, through the Controlled Population Program, the UWO has created a world devoid of imperfection. She knows she's not supposed to ask questions, but she can't help herself. Did she really see a man in the breeding compound? Surely it must have been a dream, since men are not allowed anywhere near the women selected to repopulate Gaia Earth. As she seeks to find answers, she begins to question the unified world order's take on the value of humanity. With characters that are genuine and quite tangible, the story nearly leaps off the pages of this book, which expertly holds readers' attention from the first page to the very last. K.B. Hoyle's Breeder is the Silver Award recipient for Young Adult Science Fiction. Sarah's twin sister Leah was mysteriously murdered just months before they were to start college. Instead of sharing her new university experience with her twin, Sarah now finds herself going through the motions of college life and feeling hopelessly adrift. She can't seem to shake the feeling she's being watched, even drawn towards a darkness, which for some reason she is compelled to act upon. When she does, she's introduced to an otherworldly spirit and a place which helps her find release from the reality she so desperately wishes to escape. Meyerming draws readers in from the first page to the very last in this powerhouse of a novel, which is the Gold Award-winning book for young adult horror. When Brooke loses her brother to pulmonary fibrosis and attempts to go back to save him, along the way she encounters obstacles she never dreamed she would, including a love that had eluded her in her original timeline. A gripping read that will simultaneously break your heart and warm it, The Clay Lion will transform readers' perspectives as the main character plays with fire, teetering dangerously on the borders between mind and matter, fate and free will, and loss and life. Author Amalya Jan skillfully creates moments of powerful imagery, interspersed with moments where the picture is left to the reader's personal interpretation. The overall message of the book is that everything happens for a reason, and that no matter what, we just have to keep moving forward. It shows that destiny and fate are two different things, that while we control our fate, destiny can't be avoided. And The Clay Lion is being awarded the Gold Award for Young Adult Science Fiction. Yakamali's Gift is the story of a 15-year-old Fernanda Marquina, a girl who embarks upon a grand expedition in 1775. Fernanda is in a tug-of-war between the desires of her youthful heart and the expectations of her mother. Her thirst for adventure is quenched when her family joins an expedition from Mexico to California. On her quest for personal discovery, Fernanda finds resolution as she unearths truths that will forever alter her former perceptions of her family, heritage, and identity. Historical fiction buffs will delight in Yakamali and the eclectic group of travelers who join her on her journey. Rich in culture and resplendent with vivid depictions of the arduous track of these spirited travelers, Linda Covella's Yakamali's Gift is a Gold Award recipient for young adult cultural issues. Suze is a 16-year-old girl growing up during the Depression, an era when most girls her age are dreaming of starting a family. Times are hard, and Suze's parents are determined to keep their farm, but that's becoming more difficult every day. Suze knows she's not in love, but she accepts an offer of marriage which comes with the assurance that her family's needs will be met. As it turns out, her family has far greater problems on the horizon. But in a family where no one has ever been short on spunk, they barrel forward with fierce determination. This work of fiction, which maintains its historical accuracy throughout, is a compelling tale and offers a glorious glimpse into the tenacity of one family as they demonstrate the unconditionality of love beneath the shadows of adversity. K.S. Jones' Shadows of the Hawk is a Gold Award recipient for young adult historical fiction. The Wild West was wild, but offered challenges to those brave enough for the adventure. Bert Kaufman, a young German sent to America to expand the family business, is one such man. After crossing the Atlantic by ship, he traverses the Oregon Trail and finally reaches Portland, where he will open a brewery. Grog Wars covers the trials and tribulations of this tenacious young man as he endures the rigors of travel in the 1800s, settles in a strange new town, and struggles to make an arranged marriage work. Anne Swayze Coolew's whimsical historical fiction Grog Wars is the 2015 Silver Award recipient in the General Young Adult category. In the 1600s, Galileo's views that the Earth revolved around the sun were challenged. A formal inquisition concluded that Galileo's arguments could only be presented as conjecture. But in what was considered an act of heresy, Galileo published his views anyway and spent the remainder of his life under house arrest. Fast forward to present day in Gary Grossman's Old Earth, where a professor of paleontology and a team of top students are on a dig in Montana, hoping to unearth some rare bones. Instead, they discover an artifact which defies common logic and sets the wheels in motion towards exposing truths that have been hidden by a secret society over the span of generations. Gary Grossman's gripping thriller, Old Earth, is the 2015 Gold Award recipient for General Young Adult Fiction. Calvin is near the end of his life. At least that's how he would have things. His bride of nearly 60 years has passed away and he plans to end things so he can be reunited. When Calvin's friend checks in to make sure he's all right, the widower starts to reminisce. As we learn of his past, we experience a number of vignettes which impart the many facets of one man's time upon earth. This author's natural style offers a refreshingly honest look at life and humanity. His novel is a study of the imperfections of family and those we choose to love despite their flaws and failings. Lincoln Cole's Ripples Through Time is the Gold Award recipient for Young Adult Visionary Fiction. 4 years ago, Literary Classics created the Top Honors Book Award in an effort to recognize the most distinguished books for children and young adults. The first Top Honors Award recipients were announced in 2013. Today, we continue this tradition as we recognize our 2015 Top Honors Book Award recipients. Hope is Here is the fascinating true story of a small migratory bird called Hope, which was implanted for the benefit of scientific research. Hope's story, as told by a teacher to her students, recounts the incredible journey made each year from Canada to her breeding grounds in the Caribbean. Readers learn how Hope's data will help ensure that more of her kind will continue to thrive in the many places they call home. This book is a highly engaging work of nonfiction, which is recommended for classroom reading and for home and school libraries. Christina Kessler's Hope is Here is the 2015 Lumen Award recipient. Charlie might be street smart, but he also has a tender heart. Life in the early 1900s is hard on most everyone, it seems, and Charlie is no exception. The author vividly depicts the story of a young boy's hopes, fears, and dreams as he struggles to find purpose as an abandoned orphan. History buffs will appreciate this book for its authenticity, and this genuine story is sure to work its way into the hearts of readers of all ages. An excellent selection for home and school libraries, Charlie is the recipient of the 2015 Literary Classics Eloquent Quill Award. Please help us honor Donna Marie Singh. R.A. McClure's Knights of Nevertheless, Escape from the Shadows is a riveting post-apocalyptic novel about a family trying to escape the shadows of darkness. Brothers Stranth and Onar are on the cusp of manhood. The two have a keen connection with each other and with their mother, who will stop at nothing to ensure their protection from the evil which seeks them. Together, they battle the darkness while clinging to the hope that they might find a place where light casts out the shadows of darkness. Destined to be a classic, this book offers all the elements of young adult reading at its finest. Author R.A. McClure exhibits rare talent as a storyteller in this eloquently penned fantasy fiction novel. Knights of Nevertheless is winner of the Gold Award for Young Adult Fiction, as well as our 2015 Words on Wings Book Award recipient. It's so very exciting to have such incredible talent represented here today, and it is our great honor to recognize all of these beautiful people. We thank you for joining us in recognizing these artists and their contributions to literature for youth. If you'd like to learn more about any of these authors and their award-winning titles, you may visit our website at clcawards.org.